Sorry, hold on. What? Okay. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm Jaya.
And I'm Venk.
And this is the Reality Hate. We want to make sure that you like and subscribe our page, so make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the Reality Hate.
Jaya, I am super excited to introduce our next guest.
Oh.
She is a celebrity matchmaker who you might have seen on MTV, CBS, Celeb Buzz, Access Hollywood, Forbes, and Bravo. Let's give it up for celebrity matchmaker Alessandra Conti. Conti, welcome to the Reality Hate. How are you?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm just so thrilled to be here. This is everything my soul needs, is talking about Real Housewives, especially Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
We adore it, and we gave you a shout out on one of our last videos because you gave us a really lovely tagline. Do you remember the tagline?
So if you want me to recite it, like, it's something that I kind of practice in the mirror, so I think that I'm ready.
Yes, we're ready for it.
Okay, so my future Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, specifically, tagline is, whoever said diamonds are a girl's best friend never met a matchmaker.
I love it.
I think it rings. I think it, like, because they always say, like, whoever says diamonds are a girl's best friend, blah, blah, blah. So, you know what, honestly, upon reflection, I feel like I'm more of a friend of housewife because I can't take any level of criticism, negativity. Like, and as a housewife, you need to have such thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
Thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd be able to handle the ladies, but I just don't think I'd be able to handle the social media that comes
with it.
Yes, I already get like bizarre DMs when people don't like who I matchmake on Access Hollywood. Celebrity matchmaking, that's like, we're not even actually setting them up. This is just like a fantasy situation and people freak out. So like, if I already get a level of bizarre, like, volatility, I can just imagine what I would as a housewife.
So could you handle the drama?
I could handle the drama.
You could handle it?
1,000%.
That you could handle.
I could handle the ladies. I feel like my own friend group is like very similar, more like half gay men and half like women. Like more of a mix, you know, not all housewives, but
right. You know. The way it should be.
Exactly. It is the way it should be.
So, Alessandra,
yes,
we want to know your thoughts and opinions on the first season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the reunion. I want to know what you thought, did you love it, and what you think of people.
From the moment the music in the first episode came on, it was really dramatic music. And it was like, I was like, oh my God. And then it showed like the scenes of Salt Lake City, which I know nothing about Salt Lake City. I knew literally nothing. And the Mormon church and Mormon?
Mormon.
Yes.
Mormons. Wait, Scientology? Mormon.
I think that the whole Mormon church element of things, the ladies, it was such a great group. I remember when I first started watching it, I like couldn't tell anyone apart.
Me either.
No.
I know. Meredith and Lisa. Come on.
I know in the beginning I was like, wait, who, what? Oh, And then I just did Jen Shah and like Heather. I mean, Heather. I don't know how you could not like Heather.
I like Heather.
Do you guys not like Heather? But
I like Heather.
I love Heather.
I felt like her storyline was boring. I still liked her.
I loved the Mormon angle, all of the ladies. I loved all the storylines. I loved that we watched it in like winter. And I mean, we're in LA. So like winter is like, 65 degrees and we're in, fur or faux fur. Oh my gosh. All of it. It inspired like my wardrobe. Then once lockdown ended, felt like Lisa at the party. Lisa's at the party with, the jacket on the shoulder vibe.
Yeah.
And that was my vibe. Going into Catch, I like had my housewife jacket. The reunions I absolutely adore. Just finished watching the last reunion. It was a very interesting, like different Jen Shah, I feel. I think she really was almost like meek, like except at the end, which we'll discuss, I'm sure.
It's the repercussions of her actions. Do you think?
It's true.
It's like the coming to Jesus moment.
Gosh, that's true, especially for the Mormons. I think they come to Jesus, right? Is that
I think they come to?
Who do they come to?
Jesus, or who's the founder? Is it Jesus?
Like there's the hat, the guy.
There's the hat with the guy with the
hat.
witches in the hat. Yeah.
That's how it leads to Jesus.
It goes to Jesus.
Do we have any more questions?
Who was your favorite Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and who was your least favorite, and why?
My favorite was Meredith.
My favorite. She was my favorite.
Gosh.
I liked her the best. The eyebrows were a little crazy.
Oh my gosh. Her looks alone gave me all the life. And Brooks Marks, like,
that's his guy.
I want to adopt him as my child.
Well, did you hear what Seth said about him? To know him is to love him.
To have parents like that, especially when you're a kid like Brooks growing up in Utah, it could have been harder than it was. And we don't know, the ins and outs, but to have parents like that who are so supportive and so loving, that is a blessing in and of itself.
Yeah.
And he's a talent. And I want to get one of his jumpsuits.
Yeah. Black Marks.
The PCFW set.
Black Marks.
Only at brooksmarks.com.
Black Marks.
Get it before Bank does.
Black Marks.
You guys, I honestly tried to order a Brooks Marks jumpsuit for the podcast so I could like be wearing it.
Oh my gosh.
I tried, but it just wasn't happening. So it's like harder than one would think.
It would have been so great. That's so good.
My issue is like I just love them all for what they bring, except for like Brandi Glanville. That was my one issue. I'm sorry, Brandi, because I feel like I've like run into her before. Bless her heart. But most housewives, like you have to really do something for me to just like totally hate you. So with Salt Lake City, the same thing. That's like my problem. I love them all. But yes, Meredith was my favorite. I love the way she carried herself. She disengaged.
Disengaged.
Oh my gosh, constantly disengaged. Like all I want to do is disengage. Like,
We've done that during COVID though, right?
My least favorite behaviorally, I think it's Jen Shah. But I don't dislike Jen. Like I love Jen. I think I love what she brought to the table. I loved the glam. I loved her home. I loved Coach Shah. So like she could be a really strong character coming in. They want to come in hot and like to attack everything, but like you don't need to do that because drama will unfold dealing with the real stuff instead of like getting, oh my God, she said one thing, housewife, I'm a housewife. Because she had even tweeted something like that. She's like, listen, this is the show that I'm on and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and you're getting mad at me for like putting on whatever. I forget the exact tweet.
I think
Yeah,
she
no,
caused
no.
all the drama.
But that's a perfect segue into like our kind of fire round questions.
Oh yes.
Because it does start. Jaya, wait, hold on. It's time for fire round questions. Your turn, Jaya. Take it away.
Okay, question 1. What advice would you give to Jen Shaw and her husband?
I think that one of the biggest mistakes that couples make is bringing up wounds from the past. Jen is the queen of knows that she was in the wrong, so she kind of goes back to like to Coach Shaw not being there when her dad died. Once you have, talked about an issue and kind of worked through that issue, it's so important to allow it to be in the past. Who am I to say, like, Jen, you have to be more emotionally stable on your own?
I'll say it.
Oh my God.
Next question. Do you think Lisa Barlow is on point when she describes Whitney and Heather and what they're conspiring to do?
Okay, Lisa came in freaking hot at the reunion. Like, who was that?
I know.
She was evil. She became evil.
Right.
It was so bizarre. I loved her look. She actually inspired my hair. I started not today, but I've been curling my hair a bit more because her whole look was inspiring, aside from oh God, this tanner. That was
the tanner.
so unfortunate, you guys. I was cringing. And she's
she's the queen of
Sundance.
City.
Yeah,
You guys, I'm never gonna get over the red boots. Do you remember those red boots?
She hates the red boots that she wore. They had these weird. They were
upside down golf tees.
Yeah, they look like upside down golf tees.
They were bad.
Oh my gosh. I do think that Whitney and Heather definitely chat off camera, kind of like what Lisa Vanderpump used to do with whoever her go-to
her little minion was.
Lisa's like, of course I called you every day, and but they would kind of strategize about the show. So I think that definitely Heather and Whitney are a very tight pair. They're definitely allies. But now Lisa is allied with Jen. That I think has also made her feel stronger because she knows that she has Meredith in her corner and now she has Jen.
Next question is, if you could give one of the housewives a makeover, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard to say.
Really? I have
really, come on.
Right top of mind.
Top of mind.
Wait, I think Jen Shaw. Are you guys thinking Jen Shaw? Who are you thinking? Wait, who are you thinking?
Mary Crosby.
Mary Crosby? Wait, you guys, you want to give her a makeover?
How about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You liked her clothing?
I loved it. Oh.
What?
Okay. Here's the thing. This is what I say to Jaya. She has an amazing closet. Her closet has everything that one desires. She does not know how to put any of it together.
I feel like sometimes she looks like a trash can.
That's what Jaya thinks.
Wait.
I do. I really think that.
But okay, also Venk, you're a stylist, and Jaya, you're fashionista. So yeah, I actually trust you guys. So maybe I'm wrong.
No.
You're not wrong at all. It's an opinion.
Nobody's ever wrong.
It's not my opinion and his opinion.
I remember she walked into some kind of bar or something, and I was like,
is it the orange pants?
I'm obsessed when people look so different. I just really enjoyed it.
The orange, well, not the loofah, the orange pants. The first time we meet her,
that was
pants.
probably Dolce & Gabbana.
I think it might have been, but I could be wrong.
Maybe
Versace.
so.
It could have also been Versace.
Jen Shaw, I think, is so pretty. I want her all the things.
So many things. So many things.
It's so artificial at this point.
Lips,
So,
Yeah,
tattooed
too much.
eyebrows, so much.
that's too much right now. So that's the only person that I would kind of.
Did you like her wardrobe?
I enjoyed all of it.
But would you wear it?
Oh, I would definitely wear it. I would 1,000%.
Are we still talking about Mary Crosby?
No, Jen Shaw.
Oh, Jen Shaw's clothes, like,
Some of them I
Sure.
would, some of them I wouldn't.
all of these women probably have a bunch of pieces that everyone would wear, just not together. It's
Yeah.
all about accessorizing properly. Like Coco Chanel did a lot of bad things, also being a Nazi sympathizer.
That's not good.
But like one thing she did say that was very on point was look in the mirror, see yourself, and take one thing off. The fashion advice that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Jenk, I didn't even know that she was a Nazi sympathizer, and I'm wearing my my Chanel. I have 2 pairs of Chanel earrings, and I'm wearing one of them.
Listen,
It's
so
okay now it's okay.
so was Hugo Boss. A lot of and you know what? So was Disney. Like there's a lot of people.
You're going way back, but you're okay.
You're okay, don't worry.
You're okay. Don't
I'm rethinking my entire life right now.
Never. What new alliances do you think will form in season 2?
I saw a spark between Jen Shaw and Mary Crosby. Did you guys see that? Jen is humbling herself a little bit.
Yes, she did do that.
I could see that. I could see them maybe coming together. I think that Lisa is really rubbing like everybody the wrong way. And for next season for her, because aside from Jen Shaw, she was like everyone except and obviously Meredith, but like I think Meredith.
I think that's going south.
Yeah, I think that's going south as well.
Yeah. That would be who I think. Yeah.
Do you have a question, Miss Jaya?
Best dressed and worst dressed.
I think best dressed Meredith. All of her looks, I loved all of them. Oh, she just carries herself so well. Worst dress, I almost want to say like Whitney.
Really?
For me, I respect the Mary Crosby. So my best dress is gonna be like the opposite of what a lot of people would say.
I like though. You know what? Alessandra is a maximalist. And obviously, you guys know. You both know me. You know how I dress. I'm a maximalist too. So I appreciate where she's coming from.
I'm a maximalist.
Yeah.
You're a maximalist.
For me, the more the better. Like labels, like all of it, just throw it at me.
So then in that case, you're right. Whitney was very simple.
So
And,
very
she played everything very safe.
Yeah, definitely.
I would also add Lisa for the reunions. Lisa's dress was rather safe for the reunion. No, she looked cute.
It like hit me. Like her coloring, like I think it was like a similar color to this, and like
You would look great in that dress.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
They were all dressing like Christmas ornaments.
They were dressed like sparkly Christmas ornaments.
Oh, and I wasn't into Jen Shaw's look at all. Not at all.
Oh, me either.
No.
And apparently it took like 2 months and like 7 people like every
All their
day
assistants.
to make that dress. Yeah, like
Gosh.
and I was like, oh God, like that's rough.
That's a waste of money.
That's
Yes, it is. Big waste of money.
Alessandra, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the Reality Hate. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
And you are our second guest, and hopefully you'll come back to join us.
Yes, I hope so.
Please do. Let's give a round of applause to Alessandra. Yay! She is so sweet, and I do not wait to have her back on our show.
I agree. I hope she comes back soon, please.
I'm so thirsty.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. What is that?
It's Blackwater. Enjoy the dark side.
Blackwater. We like it.
We do.
Oh. Ooh. Yes.
Some
Hey,
interesting news to give you.
what? Breaking news.
Yes, breaking news. According to page 6, Bravo is having a spin-off Housewives show with all stars from every different franchise on an island or somewhere tropical in a house together.
Wait, every different franchise, including like Melbourne?
Oh, I don't know if they're doing that.
Listen, I stoop so low. I watch them all. So
Like-
I want
The ones that matter.
that mattered. It got like
Did anybody get their hair pulled on Melbourne?
there was a lot of drama on Melbourne.
I
On
never
Melbourne.
saw it.
See,
I
I'm
don't
a
know.
true follower.
But I don't speak Australian. This is amazing. Tonight we're recapping Reunion 2 and 3
Yes.
of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
So let's jump into it.
Recap.
There was a lot of drama, but it was the same thing over and over.
Winnie and Heather, bad weather, bend their truth, destroy.
Lisa, I mean, Lisa just really villainized herself. Ugh. We open up on Reunion 2 with Hospital Gate again. I thought we were over. Who cared? Maybe the Gap, because their hospital scent perfume didn't sell.
Jen never went to the hospital that day.
Yes.
Did Mary know she went to the hospital? Like, these
No.
are still lingering.
Mary says no. Mary says she didn't know.
So Mary didn't know. So Mary apologized for something she had no reason to apologize for.
Correct.
Like,
So,
I
you
can apologize for this jacket, but I'm not going to.
the 7-Eleven situation comes up about Mary being afraid, supposedly afraid of black men standing outside of a 7-Eleven.
And she said, she's like, I like white men. I'm like, she's like light skinned. I'm like, girl, you
No,
are.
She said, I like white men. So she's then clarified that she's just scared of people in general standing outside of a convenience store and it scares her. I don't know. Whatever. She had to say something.
Her issue is, I think, baseline, I'm sorry to say, well, I'm not sorry to say, I think it's a colorism issue.
Yeah, it's internal racism.
We know that being Indian, we know
Right,
that
oh,
that's
for
in
sure.
our culture. So I understand. I've seen it. It's just kind of sad.
And then she refers to her husband as white.
I know. I'm like, he's
Which-
not.
Maybe he's been using Fair and Lovely.
Better like explain. Fair and Lovely is a skin lightening cream that they sell in India by the boatload. And you know, a lot of Indian celebrities that are now famous in America used to hawk that in India.
That's right. Jen Shaw apologizes to Mary for
I
calling her grandfather effer.
She's on the apology tour.
Felt like Heather was on point. She was kind of just laying it out.
Heather's been very on point this whole reunion. I'm just gonna say she's been calling out everything as it should be called out.
Lisa and Meredith were not scared of Jen, but they didn't like the things that were being said about poor Mary Cosby. But
Right.
they were afraid to confront Jen because Jen is so hostile. She also called out Lisa for being a really bad friend to, Meredith and to other people. And Lisa definitely went on the attack there. She lost her mind.
It was very interesting to see Meredith's reaction to the accusation of how Lisa has treated her. She's like, no, but like with like a wink.
There's going to be trouble with them. They're in troubled waters. And so then we move into Mary Cosby with her grandmother and her grandfather husband.
And her mother, who she has a bad relationship with.
And then she was talking about her aunt and her cousin who work for her. They clean her house and she pays for their apartment that they live in.
You have to say they live in a small apartment.
If you have 30 houses, give them a house. We also learned that Mary was married before her step-grandfather.
Yeah.
While she loves her husband, they don't sleep in the same bedroom. They are not romantic. And
They don't have any kids.
yeah, they do. Mary Cosby has one.
And one kid with him.
Yes. No, it happened.
It happened.
And then they brought up the topic of, are you taking from the church? And of course she was like,
I'm not taking from the church.
apparently the grandmother had 3 restaurants, a mortgage company. They had many things. You name it. They invented Post-it notes.
And Post-it notes and toaster strudels.
Jen Shaw and Mary Cosby make amends.
They made up, and we found out also that Mary Cosby, there was no will for her marriage.
Then we move on to reunion part 3, where we thought maybe Lisa Barlow was not going to come back.
You and I both know she's coming back.
They all come back.
They all come back. It's called a paycheck.
There are people that haven't shown up, but not storming off and leaving the set. No.
We know the game.
Right.
Like, stop, don't do that.
Right.
It's
right.
not, it's too easy.
Right. So she finally comes back on, and then we are met with the husbands.
Yes.
Yes. Immediately we start with Jen and Coach Shaw, and what do we talk about? Him missing the funeral. But he picks up for himself. He was like, I was there every day leading up to it. I was there for the wake. I gotta
just say, there is some gray area. According to some TikToks I've seen,
oh,
it was a home game.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was there. That's according to TikTok.
Well, but maybe he had to leave to be at the game.
And again, he's a coach. He's not the head coach, and he could have not been there.
Right.
These are all the TikTok investigators have said if he was there, he could have made it.
Thank you, TikTok.
I do see Mary and Jen kind of becoming friends.
Right.
It kind of feels like that's the way this whole thing is moving.
Then we move on. We have Whitney and her husband. They basically talk about how they've been kicked out of the Mormon church and the letter, and they went outside their agreements by having an affair.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
So Seth was looking cute tonight, but so was Whitney's husband. I'm just saying.
Really?
I know. I don't know.
Whitney's husband.
I don't know.
Ugh.
You know what? I'm desperate. I'm single. It's COVID. Leave me alone.
You know what? He looks like a cousin of my mom's, and so I just
Gay one?
No, he's not gay. Then we move on to Mary and her husband, and right at the top they bicker, and it's very uncomfortable, and she's basically trying to control him, and there's this weird, awkward argument that they have.
Yeah.
I never understand what she's saying half the time.
Well, she's always talking like a newsie.
I mean, she says things like, she's like, wine bottle banana with a Chanel purse. I love him, and you're like, what? She said when they were betrothed, that they prayed about it for 2 years, and God basically told them they were supposed to be married. And then he also said, when it comes to this grandfather fucker stuff, like, I was 22 years old when I married Mama, which is her grandmother. And he was 22 years old when he married Grandmama. So so how could he be a grandfather? He loves Mary. He feels like she's a good wife and a good mother. And, that's that.
It is what it is.
And then we learned about Whitney and her dad.
That was made me so sad. She texts him multiple times a week and does not receive a text back. It's a cruel way to treat your daughter, but we don't know how much he's suffering. And that even causes more trauma for her because she doesn't know. But we also found out that his hair was not a wig.
I mean, that was the most important information for me.
How about it?
Real hair there.
You got to say how about it.
How about it? How about it? And we move on to Meredith and Seth and their reconciliation, which she will not talk about.
I don't blame her, though.
I don't either. We did learn that they had filed for divorce before the show, then worked on it, and they felt that the show helped their relationship, which was great.
Which is like never unheard of. Unheard of.
Andy says that he's seen relationships really grow and blossom. I was like, I've only seen everybody get divorced.
They come in evil like Lisa Vanderpump and her husband, and they stay evil. Or they come in strong and loving like Kyle and her husband.
And they
stick. Or they like implode.
Like Kelsey and
Camille.
He made that comment about Brooks Mark, also known as
Bookmark.
Which is, he's the sweetest man he knows. To know him is to love him. So, your favorite. I knew you'd love that.
I did.
Then there was the direct question to Jen about why she spoke so badly about Meredith behind her back. Yeah. She couldn't answer the question.
I am going to keep saying this. Jen's bark is louder and more powerful than her bite. And who she thinks she wants to be is not someone she should want to be. What? Like when Jen is like shooting and all her ammo runs out, her immediate response is, I need to start crying.
She did do that and she apologized. Just told everybody she was sorry.
I'm sorry! But Meredith ain't having it.
No, Meredith's not having it. There was the question about why Jen Shah doesn't trust Heather. Her answer didn't make any sense. Blah, 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 blah. Andy said, well, Heather, what are some of the things she said behind your back? And she was like, she said that she buys off the rack from Dress Barn.
Yeah.
And she wants to be an actor, and the only things she'll be cast in are that of a manatee or Shrek. It's so mean.
That is cool. Heather does not need Jen to call her Shrek. Heather gets the last laugh because Rihanna be up in her DMs.
How about that? How about it? We also see Mary Cosby fall asleep.
Check this out. Instead of storming out, I'm gonna fall asleep.
She fell asleep.
Listen, after
That's not right.
After a couple hours, come on.
That's not right.
Like,
something wasn't right.
I gotta go to bed.
Something wasn't right. And we finish off the episode with Jen basically saying she was, kind of being bullied because of racism. There was racism happening within the group, and I didn't see that, and I hated that she used such a big, hot topic to deflect, essentially, right?
I found it to be rather inappropriate.
It was.
She's using a really important issue as a way to deflect, and it has nothing to do with that issue. Meredith's like, I understand white privilege, and which is so surprising for Salt Lake City. Like, I didn't realize, I came in with such a preconceived notion of what it would be like to be privileged, white, and in Salt Lake City, in Utah, right?
Right.
And I was pleasantly surprised by how intelligent and how woke a lot of these individuals were.
Right.
They closed on one of my favorite things. They closed on meatballs.
I was like, ooh.
And I was like, give me seconds. In concluding our recap, what are your final thoughts, Chia?
What's your thoughts?
I think that this was a unique experience. Of all the housewives, this was very different. The way they fought was very different. The way they interacted with each other, I thought was very different. I was bored at times. They won me over in the end, and I'm looking forward to the second season. I think there's going to be a lot more drama because these girls have paired up. We're going to see a lot of drama.
My biggest takeaway was, yes, I didn't know where this show was going, and at times I was bored as well. Coming to the reunion, seeing new alliances forged, seeing forgiveness being accepted, and seeing kind of a little precursor to what may come, especially with Lisa and Meredith. And I thought earlier that some of the people would be recast. I might be right. They may be recast, but now I'm thinking these people are going to be sticking around, and I think it's going to be a whole new Salt Lake City.
Yes, I agree.
This was a wonderful recap of this season. Jaya, you're fabulous.
Oh, so are you.
And thank you guys so much for being a part of the Reality Hate.
Tune in. We'll be covering New Jersey.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye. Okay, start.
Blackwater. We like it.
So good.
Quenches that thirst.
So good.